flats in one of these buildings, and they were woken up by the fire department and by the police last night. First of all, because of the sirens and because of screams and shouts of people, but then they were also told to leave their building because the concern is that it's not safe to stay inside these buildings. And until this point, they have not known when they can go back at all. Obviously, the fear is big that this tall-rise building might collapse at some point.
Okay, you're standing just outside the cordoned-off area there, Oliver. Is there any discussion at this point of expanding that area, of increasing the cordoned-off area based on the potential threat that's behind you right now, this building, Grenfell Tower, collapsing?
I don't have any information about that, I'm afraid. Right now, this is a cordoned-off area. It's cordoned off by several sides. It's not possible to come here by car. So when we came here, we had to walk maybe 10 minutes, and that was as far as we could get.
Okay, based on what you've been monitoring for us over the last few hours, what's the situation now? Has the activity been increasing? Has it stabilized somewhat? What's happening in terms of vehicle traffic, for example?
Well, like I said, Brian, this is a residential area, so and it's cordoned off. So first of all, as you can see, the road is blocked here by fire department cars. It's not able to pass through here at all. I believe that this must be happening from the other side of the building, an area that is not accessible also. And yeah, we only hear that the fire department is still doing their utmost to get the flames under control. We don't have any information about this area being the cordoned-off area being changed at this point.
Okay, just a few moments ago, we heard from the London Fire Commissioner, Danny Cotton. We're going to...
Incident. In my 29 years of being a firefighter, I have never, ever seen anything of this scale. You must recognise that the firefighters are working very hard at the moment. So I'll give you a brief press statement, and I cannot take questions at the moment. We will supply further information on the four-storey building from the second floor upwards. I have over 200 of my firefighters and officers attending this incident, with 40 fire engines and a range of specialist vehicles, including 14 fire rescue units in attendance. Based on the level of resource that was needed at this fire, we declared this a major incident very early this morning. London Fire Brigade's control room took multiple calls to this incident, with the first call coming in at 6 minutes to 1 o'clock. Our first fire engines were on scene in under 6 minutes. Crews wearing breathing apparatus and extended duration breathing apparatus have been working in extremely challenging and very difficult conditions to rescue people and to bring this major fire under control. London Ambulance Service have confirmed that currently 30 people have been taken to 5 hospitals. At this time, I am very sad to confirm that there have been a number of fatalities. I cannot confirm the number at this time due to the size and complexity of this building, and it would clearly be wrong for me to speculate further. Equally, the cause of this fire is not known at this stage. We will be here all day and we will provide further updates. We are working very closely with our colleagues in the Metropolitan Police and the London Ambulance Service to bring this situation under control. Further information for the public will be made available shortly, including advice for those concerned about those who are working here and people who live here. The emergency services will continue to work with all agencies, including the local authority, to support all affected by this incident. Thank you very much.
Moved in, and there were workers there with extended duration breathing apparatus, which would indicate that this was a major effort to rescue people inside those breathing apparatus designed to keep the firemen inside as long as possible. We're going to get, according to the Fire Commissioner, Danny Cotton, more information in the coming hours, and the Fire Commissioner says British capital in the Grenfell Tower block. The building's built in 1974 and recently underwent refurbishment. That is being very much scrutinized right now. The area's densely populated, large parts of the area have been closed off, as we've been hearing from a reporter, Oliver Sallet. Now, eyewitnesses have described the scene in the early stages.
And I heard the ambulance, and then I wake up, see the window, I see the building because it's opposite my house. So I've got a friend there, and then it was half of the building was burning, and then coming up and up and up. And I heard some people screaming and flashing the lights. I said, help. And from there now,
I started hearing sounds, like they sound like someone was pumping water. It was really weird. And I looked outside my window and I saw there was a light, but it wasn't a steady light, so it had to be a flame. I came outside. We came outside and there were already people outside alarming everyone else, but at the time it was just one
on
front.
The other side, like on the back of the building from our view.
Yeah, towards the gym that is on the other side.
Are you hearing me right now, Oliver? Are you getting the contact from us?
I can hear you, yes. There's a helicopter in the sky, and it's very noisy here. As you can imagine, the rescue operations are still underway here.
Okay, Oliver, has there been any new developments over the last little while since we spoke last time? We heard from the fire commissioner telling us that this is classified as a major incident and that there were firemen in the building with extended duration breathing apparatus, indicating that there was an attempt to rescue as many lives as possible.
That's right. We just heard the press conference there of the fire department, and but still we only know about 30 injured people that were taken to 5 different hospitals. And if you imagine that several hundred people must have lived inside this building, we're talking about a 27-story building with more than 100 flats inside. And we only have official numbers right now after a whole night of trying to get trying to get this fire under control, of 30 people that were being treated right now. This gives us a major concern, of course, about the amount of human loss that there might be. But as the speaker of the fire department said, it would be too early right now to speculate about the amount of people died. They did confirm that there were casualties, but they cannot comment at all on the amount of people that died within this fire last night.
You've been out talking to people, Oliver. What have you been hearing from residents in the area, from eyewitnesses?
Yeah, several residents and of the area here, of the neighborhood, are on the streets. They woke up by the sound of sirens here last night, and whoever lived nearby. Let me just step out of the frame. You can see the cordoned off area here that is blocked by several fire trucks. So all of the people living behind these trucks were told to leave their buildings, and they were here on the street witnessing and following this fire tonight. And I've been able to speak to one of these neighbors here, and he filmed actually several families here on the upper floors of that building. You can now see it there. The flames are still burning. There's a column of smoke that can actually be seen throughout the whole city. And he filmed people calling for help, but as you can imagine, since this whole building was on fire very quickly, it was a very difficult, if not impossible, task for the fire department to go up there and rescue those trapped on the upper floors.
Is there any indication at all right now, Oliver, as to how many people might be missing and unaccounted for? Or is this information we're simply going to have to bide our time and wait until we know more about this?
What we do know is that this is a residential building, first of all, so there are many families and people living in this building with more than 100 flats. We don't know how many of these flats were inhabited at this point because there was a major refurbishment that was just finished about a year ago. Some 10 million pounds were invested here for a new heating system and for new windows, apparently. That's what we hear from reports. But as the speaker of the fire department said, it is in fact, as you already mentioned, too early now to speculate about the amount of casualties, about those who did not make it out there. We do have confirmed casualties, that's for sure. And if you just consider that only 30 people are confirmed to be hospitalized right now, to be brought to 5 different hospitals in London, then you can only guess that many others are still missing.
Okay, well, let's talk about the building now.